Alright, we're back for another Dokkan Battle video, and in today's video we are going to be going over one of the 4 9th year anniversary banners. We did go over the Carnival LR Gogeta's banner in a separate video, and I discussed on how I thought that probably was the weakest banner out of the 9th year anniversary. But, fortunately, alongside Gogeta, we get Broly's banner. I would say this is a pretty good banner. We'll go in depth over all these units and why they're crazy in a minute. But first, I want to point this out. I'm making this video pretty much a month before the Part 1 banners come out. So, let me just stress this, if you're watching this, at least the day of me uploading it, you have about a month to save your stones. So even if you fumbled, even if, let's say you spent all your stones on First Form Frieza's banner, or you spent most of them on Golden Week, and then the remaining on First Form Frieza's banner, whatever. If you don't have any stones, there's still hope for you, alright? If you just start saving right now, you should be able to have a decent amount of stones to do a decent amount of multis on, you know, the Part 1 banners. Because, of course, we've got an Easy A incoming just for the countdown celebration of the 9th year anniversary. We've also got the Captain Ginyu's celebration. I guess it's really just Part 2 to the Frieza celebration. But regardless, we still do have a decent amount of content incoming to where you can save some of your stones and hopefully have... I mean, what? If you had 0 right now and you just started saving up until anniversary, let's just say you're not new to the game, you're only going to get stones from, you know, the new content that we get. You could probably get 200-300 stones if you save all of your stones. So that's a decent amount considering you're starting from scratch. So just wanted to get that out of the way, save your stones in case you don't have any. Broly's banner. It's pretty good, man. Broly, we'll just briefly go over all these units and then we'll pull them up and talk about them extensively. But Broly, really good unit. He's definitely top 10. And considering he's an extreme class option, you know, he's got some pretty weak teams under his belt. So, of course, a really good unit to have. We've got Frieza. Same thing to be said with him. He's on even worse teams because it's a Frieza, more extreme class teams. And he's a bit of a support for super bosses. So, if you're going to be running that team, definitely you're going to want this unit. We got Fuse Zamasu. Yeah, really good. We got Z-Duo, really good. Cooler. He's aged a little. I'm going to be honest with you. He's not as crazy as he was, but he's still a really decent option. Especially if you build up with him, then he can start to get really crazy. Same thing with LR Gods. They're still a really good option, especially once you transform with them and you start getting their dodge off. We got the 5th year fusions. I mean, with their Easy A, yeah, they're still good. I would say the only issue with them maybe is that you're going to want to have them in slot 2. Definitely. Maybe slot 2 and 3, but then you want to build up with them. So, I don't know. It could be a little tricky with their placement on teams sometimes, but overall, they're good, right? They're still very top tier. We got Blue Goku and Vegeta, so these guys actually get their Easy A during the celebration, and they are quite good. They are very, very good. I don't know when they Easy A, though. I think Part 2? I think. Here, will it say when they Easy A'd on JP? Yeah, okay, it was the 11th of February. Wait, isn't that Part 3? Okay, so yeah, I think they Easy A for Part 3 on Global, but the 6th year anniversary LRs will also Easy A during Part 3. Well, no, because then we already got the Part EX Easy A's on... Okay, typical Global shenanigans. I don't really know what's going on because the timeline's all messed up, but these guys are going to be Easy A'ing during the 9th year anniversary. That's about all I know. And yeah, with their Easy A, they're very crazy. We'll leave them pulled up because, again, we'll talk about them in a second. And then we got this Broly down here. Not the greatest unit, just by himself. But I will say this, in World Tournament, he's got a lot of value. And in a lot of these events where, you know, you have to, like, kill as many enemies as possible. I think there's, like, the Cybermen event. There's one with, like, the cooler robots. This guy's going to be really good in there because, of course, he's a decently good unit on his own. And also he's got those AoEs. But starting off with Broly. I mean, yeah, Broly's a good unit. He's really good for super bosses, which is really important because super bosses as a category does kind of suck. He also is a stacker. You know, he's got a lot of stuff built in here. He's just good. Get that out of the way first thing. The transformation condition with him, he transforms into Super Saiyan Broly full power and then activates the domain for 4 turns. Extreme class allies get 4 ki, and it can be activated starting from the 5th turn from start of battle. So really easy to get, but I will say this. One thing I don't like about him, you know, you're looking at his link set, you're noticing a very specific extreme class link missing from this. Unfortunately, no big bad bosses. Even when you transform with him, still no big bad bosses. You know what's crazy? I hate this. I don't know. Just little things like this in Dokkan, they just always piss me off. Broly, Cheelai, and Lemo have big bad bosses. And this is like, it's it's like the end of the movie when they're basically good guys. But Broly, the antagonist, when he's like, you know, ready to just destroy everything, is not big bad bosses. I can't wrap my head around that. I don't know. I just feel like it's really stupid. But speaking of these guys, they easy A during Anniversary as well, and they're very good. But that's a whole nother thing. But overall, like I said, Broly's a really good unit. I mean, you start reading his kit once he's transformed. There's damage reduction. He's got insane stats, and he's got guard. He's got really good super attack effects. He's got additionals, a bunch of other stats built in. He's got crits as well. So overall, yeah, this guy's very, very good. So definitely, if you're going to summon on the banner just for him, it's worth it. And then we got the banner unit Frieza right here. I don't really remember what this guy looks like. I remember he's a support, and he has a little bit of damage reduction. So, yeah, good super attack effect. 130% defense for 3 turns after receiving or evading an attack. 60% damage reduction on turn 1, and then it drops to 50%. But you get that with 3 key spheres. And then, I guess after that, you get another 40% damage reduction with 3 key spheres. Yeah, from the 5th turn. And then you get another 20% damage reduction when there's another Super Bosses category ally in the same turn. And then, yeah, he's supporting Super Bosses. For 2 keys, 60% attack and 30% defense. That's a really good support. So with the Super Bosses category ally, this guy can get up to 80% damage reduction, which is really good, and he's a support. Now, keep in mind, his stats... I mean, there's good buffs in here, but because it's a banner unit, his his actual number stats, like these down here, aren't that high. So even though you see a lot of, you know, 160%, 130%, 160%, 130%, it's not really that crazy. But considering he's got high levels of damage reduction, his stats will start to look pretty good. And he's got a good link set. No big bad bosses, unfortunately, but it's not that big of a deal, because with a lot of other Frieza units, he's still going to link very well with them. So the banner unit Frieza, really good. We got Fuse Zamasu. I mean, I guess I don't have to pull him up. He's pretty much all I'm going to say is he's good. I mean, you get Infinite Zamasu. He's taking no damage. He's a support. I think he supports Worldwide Chaos. And he can do some pretty good damage, and he's got some high damage reduction, so he's pretty good defensively. But most of you probably have him, so, you know, you probably already know what he's looking like. We got Z-Duo. I mean, yeah, I guess we can pull them up. They're a little older, so some of you might not have them. They're, yeah, they're good. I would say my issue with them is that turn 1, defensively, they're really not that great. But once you stack up a little with them, they start to look really crazy. You know, they're getting their crits as well. So then all their supers are 10 million plus, and they're critting. And they can get up to like 4 or 5 supers in a turn. And then you go into the standby. And defensively, they're like the best unit in the game. All right, we're talking guard, damage reduction, rainbow orb changing, and just insane damage once you drop the standby, once you get all of like the nodes with the key spheres. So overall, a great unit. I would just say turn 1 and 2. Defensively, they may be a little weak, which can make them a liability on a team, but still, as long as you kind of play to their weaknesses, you'll be fine. Cooler. I pretty much summarized this kit earlier. You build up with him, he's good, but similar to Z-Duo for the first couple turns, he can be pretty weak. LR Gods. Actually, I do want to talk about them. It's been a minute since I've gone over these guys in a video. They're good. It's crazy to think they're going to be easy hang in the next anniversary. Because, I mean, yeah, they're still really useful, right? 200% leader skill. Obviously very good because they lead Power Beyond Super Saiyan and Movie Heroes. So if you're new to the game, these are 2 really good categories. They're stacking, and they've got a pretty decent kit. You know, we're talking additional, super effective against all types, some crits, guard for that first turn as well. So then even though they are a liability in terms of their defense for the first turn or 2, specifically for that first turn, you've got guard, so it makes them a little bit better. And then once you transform into blue with them, I mean, now they're looking really, really good. So 100% the stats on 18 key, even though their defense most of the time won't be that crazy, which can be changed just simply by stacking longer with them in the Super Saiyan God form. But let's just say you transform with them relatively early on, so you don't get the chance to stack up with them, so their stats aren't that high. You still have really good super attack effects that are going to be literally doubling their defense, and then you're getting more right here from their 12 key, and you could potentially still be doing like 3-4 supers in a turn. So you're getting this, and then you're getting this a few times. So their stats in slot 2 and 3 going to be really good. They also have dodge built in, and that only gets higher and higher the more rainbow key spheres you get. And then, you know, we're talking crits, guaranteed additionals, active skill, the whole 9 yards. So they're still really good. It's just their stats are a little lower. That's why I'd say maybe the 7th year anniversary LRs have aged a little. And then we got the 5th year fusions right here. They're both basically the same, but I guess we can pull up Vegeta because I think he is just a hair better. So, you know, everything with Vegeta kind of applies to Gogeta. Because Gogeta, I think, just has more additionals built in, whereas this guy has less additionals built in, but, like, they're guaranteed. So, I don't really remember. Honestly, I haven't used these guys in forever. Here, let's read their kit really quick. I know it's only Super Saiyan God, or Super Saiyan Blue, when their details kind of differ a little. So this guy gets, yeah, a guaranteed additional super, and then a medium chance of another super as the first or second attacker. He gets an additional super, and a 70% chance to dodge as the third attacker. And then, yeah, he's building up, and then he gets a guaranteed additional super when activating the active skill or when Ki is 24. And then I think with Gogeta, he just has, like, 2 built-in additionals, each of which have a medium chance of becoming a super. So, I mean, Vegeto's is definitely a little bit better because it's all these guaranteed additionals, whereas this guy just has a medium chance of becoming a super. But I think this guy also has, like, guaranteed super effective against all types. So, overall, who's going to be doing the most damage? It's going to be relatively the same. Even though this guy's doing more additionals, you know, this guy's damage might be a little bit higher on the few supers he's doing. But then also, because they've got this on their 12 key, this guy's defense is going to be a little bit more important because he can do more supers. So that's why I think this guy is just a little bit better. But other than when they transform into blue, I would say they're a bit of a liability. So for the first few turns, well, until turn 4, they can get absolutely destroyed. So just be careful with them. But still, they've got a really high roof. And then down here, we got Blue Goku and Vegeta. I mean, I guess I don't want to go over their whole kit because I'll save that for a video relatively soon when their EZA is coming to global, but they're good, man. And we're talking damage reduction, additionals, more damage reduction down here, and then Rainbow Orb changing, really good super attack effects, built-in Ki, so getting an 18 Ki with them isn't going to be that difficult. Granted, there's a few restrictions, like superheroes category units on the team, but I'm going to pull up this category really quick, and you can see it's not going to be that difficult to get. This is quite a good team, especially considering the buffs that we get to this category during this anniversary. You know, Beast Gohan, Gammas, all that. So they're really good. Again, I'm not going to go over everything because we're going to be doing a more specific video on their kit relatively soon when they release on Global. But then finally, we got this Broly down here. I mean, like I said, World Tournament, he's going to be really useful, and then that's about it. Yeah, he's got additionals, but no guard, no damage reduction, no dodge, which isn't that big of a deal if they've got really high stats. Look at the World Tournament Piccolo unit. He can still be really good, and he doesn't have dodge, damage reduction, or guard or anything like that. But his stats really don't make up for it, and even when you transform with him, still, his stats just don't really make up for it. Like, he just doesn't really seem that crazy to me, other than in World Tournament, specifically because he's got the AoEs. His damage can be pretty impressive. That's why with an AoE, it kind of complements his kit very well in terms of his damage, but defensively, he just does not hold up, which defense is a lot more important than offense right now. Just that's kind of the current meta. So a unit like this, unfortunately, you just can't really run. He just seems like a bit of a glass cannon. But that's not to say he's completely useless. Like I said, World Tournament, I don't know, a lot of these events where you have to like kill as many enemies as possible, he will have some value. It's just in difficult content, it's not going to be the greatest. But that is the video. This is the full Broly banner. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this banner down in the comments, and if you are going to summon for it, or if you're going to save for part 2, because we'll do our videos on the part 2 banners soon. We got to go over that Beast Gohan's banner, because if you think Broly's banner is crazy, if you don't know what Beast Gohan's banner looks like, you're in for a treat, because that's something else. But anyway, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how many stones you've got for 9th year anniversary, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.